stars who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing. This is World of Wonder's Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome to the Wow Report. I'm Fenton Bailey, co-founder of World of Wonder, here with James St. James.
Hello, darling.
And our chief creative inspiration, Tom Campbell.
Hey, Fenton.
You know, normally we count down the top 10 things that make us go,
wow.
But this week, because we are joined by Seth Abramovitch, we're having a very special edition of the Wow Report. We're counting down the top 10...
This is our Oscar special.
It's our Oscar special.
All things Oscar. We're talking about this year's, but we're also going into some things that have happened in past years.
Number 10.
I do want to just say that Seth Abramovitch is the senior writer at Hollywood Reporter. He had a thing he has held since 2012, I believe. You've been there?
God. Somebody's Googled.
I know. But we know Seth from he was at Deadline. He was at Defamer. Movie Line.
Before that,
New York Magazine, Atlantic.
I've been all over.
You've been all over.
I'm the pass-around party bottom of the media scene.
And you are a renowned expert on all things Academy Awards.
Yes.
You are today.
Starting today.
Yes.
But I do want to say, too, that some of the articles that you've written, you did a Kathy Griffin piece for the Hollywood Reporter.
I did.
You've done a Lou Pearlman expose.
Yeah, his last interview before he died in jail.
Oh, yeah, really?
Oh, my God. Did you went to see him in jail?
I didn't. It was over the phone, but it was his last.
His last quarter. His last dime.
Same
at the PayPal.
They put him in the warden's office, and I remember very clearly that whole conversation was very surreal.
Wow. But right before we went on the air, you dropped the bombshell that you also interviewed Pia Zadora.
Yes, I went to her house in Las Vegas, and this was for our Golden Globes issue, and we went through her whole amazing life. She is an incredible woman.
She has had a long storied career.
Amazing, and 3 husbands, and she's...
Methuselah. What was his name? Methuselah.
The billionaire?
Yeah.
That was the one who supposedly bought her Golden Globe. But my feeling is that is not what happened, and that she has been mischaracterized by the celebrity gossip press.
Another connection that you have with World of Wonder is that you did a big piece on Heidi Fleiss, who is a longtime celebrity for us.
Yeah, she's also quite something.
Yeah, we did a documentary called the First Lady of Crystal or something.
It's a long title, isn't it? It's the First Madam of Crystal. I can't even remember the title of the films we've
Crystal
made.
Meth?
Well, because
wink.
There's
a little bit
because she lived in Crystal, Nevada, or something, right?
Pahrump, Nevada.
Yeah, she lives in Pahrump.
Yeah,
Pahrump, but
with like 500 parrots.
Yeah.
It was very much about that. It was about notionally, it was about her launching a brothel for women to go and fuck men.
Right.
And that project was sort of a MacGuffin. And during the course of making the film, she fell in love with these birds. And one bird in particular, she built an aviary on the back of her house. And then the parrot, whose name, or the parakeet or whatever it was, died. And she was distraught. And it was almost as if the only thing she'd ever loved. The First Madam of Crystal. Thank you.
The Heidi Fleiss, the would-be Madam of Crystal. If you've run out of Oscar screeners, everyone, find Heidi Fleiss, the would-be Madam of Crystal.
And I do also want to say that you were going to come tomorrow, but you have an interview.
Yes.
Can we talk about it? Can you tell us?
Yeah, we can.
But who is it? Who is it going to be?
Well, I'm doing this show for Hollywood Reporter as a podcast, and it's called It Happened in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the whole concept, it's you basically revisit a chapter of Hollywood history, and we bring in someone who was there. And we haven't done a TV show. We've only done movies. And my dream booking we've succeeded in getting, it's Jacqueline Smith.
From Charlie's Angels.
Doing Charlie's Angels.
And what's the Happened in Hollywood bit?
We're just going to relive everything about Charlie's Angels through
it's
Jacqueline's
interesting
eyes.
because it's on Me Too TV now, or Me TV now.
Me Too TV.
Me Too TV. Oh God, Me TV. And
Could
I
happen.
find myself
Coming soon.
but I find myself watching it all the time, and it really holds up. Charlie's Angels. No, it does. I swear, because I watch Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman do not hold up, but Love Boat, Charlie's Angels, and Soap all hold up to me.
I think it holds up, and I don't know. There's something about Charlie's Angels ever since since I was a kid. It
Yeah.
totally
I was
entranced me.
obsessed, and I had her poster along with Ferris. Jacqueline and Kate Jackson and Jacqueline Smith were behind my bedroom door, so when it was closed, but Farrah was above my stereo.
Did you like Tanya Roberts? Were you?
Oh, no, I was up by them.
Okay.
The high concept become low concept. Very confusing. Can you ask her if this makes any sense to you? Do you remember the Woolite commercials she was in?
No.
You're too. It's like you look. It's just she was just a model until she was on the show, and it was like you look better in a sweater washed in Woolite, and they would pull out like a little tag that said Woolite. Off the record, ask her about that.
And she also had those Kmart.
Oh, she made millions off of the Kmart.
She was the first celebrity clothier.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
It's very. Yeah, I'm interested to see because she still looks beautiful. She's still absolutely stunning.
She's gorgeous. I'm so excited.
She's gorgeous.
That's going to be great.
I love her.
What of awards season? Because we're in awards season, it is galloping to the climax. I get the Oscars is the climax of awards season. What is your favorite awards of awards season?
My favorite awards, I guess it's the Oscars. Although,
Thank God, it's during a whole hour on it.
I mean, yeah, you know. First of all, I'm a movie guy more than a TV guy. I'm kind of commit phobic when it comes to like TV shows. I always kind of lose the plot. But a movie, I can sit down for 2 hours.
More of a one-night stand, if you will.
Yeah,
a movie.
exactly.
Got it. I'm going to interrupt because we have to get this done.
Oh.
But I think we should start. We should count down the top 9 things that make us go Oscar. Oh! Number 9.
Number 9.
Yeah. Number 9. Okay. Best Supporting Actor. Here are the nominations,
Had
right?
this meeting before, but we did.
Oh, of course. And the first name I can't even pronounce.
Mahershala Ali,
Mahershala Ali.
Which we've just learned is his nickname because his real name is 18 letters long and it's the longest name that's in the Bible. And it's like Mahershala blah, blah.
So it's
You
Mahershala
already
Ali.
learned something this early in the radio
I
show.
thought you were going to say it was a very common name, like Engelbert Humperdinck is Arnold Dorsey.
Oh, yeah. No. It really is Mahershala.
Okay.
It's some Mahershala blah, blah, blah.
And he's in Green Book, right?
Yeah.
Adam Driver in Black Klansman, Best Supporting
sort of a
Actor.
surprise, yeah.
Sam Elliott in A Star Is Born. Richard E. Grant in Can You Forgive Me?
Ever.
Sam Rockwell in Vice. So, Seth, what do you think?
Controversial, a couple controversies. Sam Rockwell in Vice that's the biggest surprise I think of any of the nominees this year. One of them. He's on the screen for a few minutes. It's very much.
Wait, I thought he was Bush, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Bush.
But Bush doesn't figure prominently in the Vice story.
No, it takes a while for him to come in. Maybe like definitely the second half of the movie, and he's just in a few scenes.
Okay,
and it's he kind of channels him, but
there have been a number of times in Oscar history where someone who has 8 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever has won.
Yeah,
right.
But there's nothing that memorable about the 8 minutes here.
Okay.
I mean, he does a good job. Like, he definitely feels like Bush, but he's not a pivotal figure, just like Bush himself was.
Wasn't a pivotal figure in his own presidency.
Well, right. And it's the same thing in this movie. He's just on the sidelines being manipulated. So,
pivotal in a way in which the presidency seemed to change forever and the whole country went off the rails. Pivotal in that disastrous respect.
he was disastrous, but he didn't do much.
Right.
Well, I don't think Adam Driver has a chance. I think he's happy to be nominated for this. I think he's far too young. I have a feeling that
Make him older. I think that based on that, I'm thinking Sam Elliott's
No, I think it's
first nomination in 50 years.
But I think it's Richard Grant's time. I think Richard's going to get it.
Richard E. Grant.
Yeah,
yes.
Richard E. Grant. What do you think?
I loved the movie. I love the role. I love that it all took place in Julius's in New York. It's amazing. It speaks to me. I just not sure if it's going to speak to like a huge voting body.
Okay, so who do you think it's going to be?
Sam Elliott, Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Mahershala, I don't know.
But I think
I'm so confused.
I think the controversies are catching up with Green Book, and I don't think it's going to win anything.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It just won the Producers Guild Award.
It's won a lot, and it seems like awarding him would
the
take
way
away
to-
some of the sting. Although I was just listening to Bevy Smith the other night. She was talking about how Driving Miss Daisy came out the same year as Do the Right Thing and isn't Green Book kind of driving Miss Daisy. I don't know. I would like him to win, or I like Sam Elliott to win. And you know why I like Sam Elliott to win? One, because you can't understand what he's saying.
Right.
It turns me on incredibly. Okay. And second, there were newspaper ads for a movie called Lifeguard with Sam Elliott in the 70s where he's wearing a Speedo.
I do remember
and
that.
I think I came of age over a newspaper ad.
Well, there was a famous Playgirl. Wasn't there a Playgirl that
I just remember the black and white third page of the Eagle Times.
Wasn't that Scott Bakula?
There wasn't Scott Bakula, but I also remember that guy who played Flash Gordon. What was his name?
Sam.
Yeah.
I love
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
I
stole that Playgirl magazine when I was 12 years old and had it under my bed. I swear to God, for 6 years, I could tell you every pubic hair on his body.
So you're thinking Sam Jones might win for supporting actor this year?
But I do think there was this Playgirl with Sam Elliott as well that I remember from
Sam Elliott.
Special award for Sam Elliott's mustache.
Yes.
It's done a lot of the acting over there.
Okay, so the next category
So we're going to post all the nominations on the Wow Report, worldofwonder.net. And just a reminder, the Oscars is on Sunday, February 24th, so you can watch and find out how close we were.
We will all be watching.
I always lose those, you have parties and they do the, what do you call it?
Do you still have parties? I haven't been invited for the past couple
Oscar
years.
ballot. The
Yes,
Oscar.
we do. You must come.
Oscar Pool.
Thank you. Oscar Pool always lose terribly.
Well, let's keep going.
Okay. Number 8.
Number 8.
Best Supporting Actress nominees are
Drum roll, please.
Amy Adams in Vice,
Love Amy Adams.
Marina de Tavera in Roma,
Right.
Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk,
Already a big winner.
Emma Stone in The Favorite, Rachel Weisz in The Favorite. 2 for The Favorites.
Have you watched Favorite yet? Have you? Because either of you, I've been trying to get you both.
I'm not going to admit to what I've seen and not seen. I'm only going to have a strong
Have you
opinion.
not seen it yet?
I am like most of America. I will have strong opinions about every nominee, and I will not reveal if not I saw the movie.
You've seen The Favorite.
Yes, I
And
have.
it's the
That's
favorite
why he's
movie of the
here.
year.
Is it mine?
Yes.
No.
What? But you love Olivia Colman in
Yeah,
it.
it's a great movie.
It's great.
It's just not my
and
favorite.
I don't understand why you, of all people, haven't won. You've got the screener.
It's very dark and catty and gay and fun.
And look at
campy.
who you're telling that to.
Exactly. No, and
Dark
I think
and
you,
catty.
as a long-time British historian, would love that.
Favorite is spelled with a U, so you know it's British.
But I have a feeling
I
this
thought
goes
it was
to
a typo.
Regina King. I think it's hands down, right?
I'm gunning for Rachel Weisz. I thought she was really good in that movie.
She was spectacular.
And you don't think Rachel and Emma will do the whole
They'll cancel each other
out thing?
Rachel has sort of the more memorable, showy performance.
And Emma's had her award.
And she had her moment. She's amazing in it
Yes,
too.
and she'll have more.
Rachel goes through a physical transformation in the movie that's, that Oscar voters tend to like.
I don't think the girl from Roma is going to.
I don't know how she snuck in there, to be honest.
And Amy Adams, I think Amy Adams' day is coming, but I don't think it's this year.
She is, and I'm not to jump ahead, but she is her generation's Glenn Close. Amy Adams is the most underestimated, underappreciated, underawarded actress on the face of the earth.
It is true, but you.
I'm not saying I saw Vice, but I'm saying Amy Adams.
Yeah, sorry. No, but you and I are going to argue very when it comes to Glenn Close.
Little teaser.
Yeah, we're going to have a battle royale coming up in a few minutes. Over Glenn
I
Close.
think she's a deserving actress. I don't think this is the part that she's going to be winning for.
Right. Does she need to die? Does she need to be a hooker who dies?
I think she's still. Is she in her 30s?
The dead hooker.
Do you think is she in her 30s or 40s now?
I wouldn't. I'd 30s.
So I think she's still got about 15 years before she starts getting all.
Can I tell you? Speaking of going off topic constantly, can I tell you a crazy Amy Adams fact that I realized about myself? I worked at Warner Brothers Television, head of comedy, and one season we did a pilot called The Peter Principle, which was a British show. There's like The Office kind of thing. And we hired this actress, and she wasn't funny enough, and we fired her. And then years later, it was on IMDb. Look at my credits. And it was like Amy Adams was the actress we fired! And replaced her with she has the cooking show. She was on Saved by the Bell.
Rachel Ray.
No. Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh, wow.
What?
So now you know why I don't work in comedy anymore.
That's why you're here.
That's right.
Fired Amy Adams and replaced her with Tiffany Amber Thiessen?
It must have been a very young Amy. This is like the late 90s.
She was also, one of her early roles was on Smallville, and she had to wear a fat suit. And she doesn't like people to bring up that credit.
I was the biggest Smallville fan in the world. What, was she a villain?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But her fate changed when she was in Junebug. Amy Adams. This is all about Amy Adams. I don't care.
God, but just talk about hot guy. Tom Welling, man. He looks better now than he did as young Clark Kent.
What's he up to lately?
I'm sorry, I don't know. What? God.
Where do you see him?
I see him. I follow him all the time.
You do? On the street?
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk about that here.
No, but he's a hot daddy now. He's got a hot gray beard. You know who else looks good? I'm sorry.
Speaking of the Oscars, who else looks good?
No, I just showed you the picture of Robbie Benson.
Oh, hello.
He's 62 years old and looks better than he did when he jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we've posted the nominations for Best Supporting Actress on the Wow Report.
I like the way you were able to at least connect Robbie Benson to a movie. That's as close as we got to the Oscars. A 40-year-old movie.
I'm sorry.
Based on a pop
I've got
song.
a lot to talk about this week.
It's okay.
It's all going to come out.
Seth, I know you like the small screen. Are you watching $1 Million Listings?
No.
Wait,
Didn't I say I don't watch TV?
Definitely watch.
I'm here to tell you. It's on the Bravo
Take
app.
2. Yes.
We can fix that
It's
in
on
the
the
edit.
Bravo app every Thursdays at 9 p.m. And then you stay around, I hope, for Backyard Envy, immediately following with the Hunky Manscapers. They're like,
Yeah, it's a new show that we have, and it's hot manscapers in
Oh,
New
I'd
York
watch.
City.
Wait, manscaping as in landscapers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But
so it's
you
not
trim
body
your
hair.
bush.
You need that dream move, we'll do it for you. Because that has that kind of swagger
They're hot
to it.
bears. They're sort of hot bears in a hot little
I'll show you my
post-twink, a
Instagram
twink.
feed later.
Yeah.
What about All Stars? I mean, that I can talk about.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Yeah.
Oh, I got a
We don't
for All
plug
Stars
that
coming
until
up
the next
part
set.
3.
Not that we plug. It's all very natural conversation here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we ask a question before we go to a break.
Right.
And the question this time is, how many Oscar awards do they give out each year? We do know that since they started, they've given out over 3,000 awards. And we do know that each Oscar weighs 8.5 pounds, which is actually kind of heavy. I mean, that is the weight of a large baby. But anyway, how many awards do they give out each year? That's our question.
I'm crowning.
All right, I'd say there's about 20 categories, and some categories they give multiple Oscars. So I'm going to say they give.
Think about it over the break. You're listening to Wow Report, Radio Andy.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
Welcome back to the Wow Report. I'm Fenton here with Tom and James, who's gone into a catatonic state, and Seth
Hi.
Abramovitch. How are you?
I'm great.
Excellent. So before the break, we asked the question, how many Academy Awards, because that's what we're doing this week. We're doing a big Academy Awards special, counting down the top things that make us go,
Oscar. Doesn't really have. We're working on it. We have a whole show to figure this out.
which is how many awards do they give out each year? And how many do you think they give out this year?
You go ahead.
I'm guessing if there's about 20 categories, and I'm going to say 43.
Oh, wow.
Because you're thinking multiples in a category.
Yeah, you're giving more than one Oscar in one category.
I like that.
Like 2 sounding.
I'm saying 25.
You said how many?
43.
I'm going to say 44 because I played Price is Right.
Oh, I'm just going to go 56 because I really don't know.
24.
Oh!
This is the first time James has ever been right. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad there was someone to witness it.
How very dare you?
James, we're moving on. Tom, we're moving on.
Yes.
Fenton, we're moving on.
We're doing
Number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7, we're doing snubs and surprises from this year. I've made a list of a whole bunch of them right here. I think my biggest surprise was that Emily Blunt wasn't nominated for either A Quiet Place or Mary Poppins, right? Isn't that sort of crazy?
It was definitely a snub.
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely think so. Also,
But has
Mr.
Mary
Rogers.
Poppins really caught on? I know people have seen it and they're transfixed, but it doesn't feel like it's really made like an impact like a Legos movie did, or I don't know. I want it to be more. I like Mark Shaman. I love everyone involved in it.
Have you seen it?
I'm not saying whether I've seen anything. Contractually, I'm not allowed to.
Ethan Hawke was somebody who everyone thought was going to be nominated for what was it? First Reformed. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
And you loved him?
Yes.
Okay. Also, Mr. Rogers, I know you were very upset about.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Totally wrong.
And that one made a ton of money, like more than any other
What do you
doc.
think
Is that the problem?
I don't think so. I think the Academy likes movies to be successful.
Because I didn't recognize any of the documentary nominees. They're really, except for what was
Free Solo was the mountain climbing one.
Oh,
And
right, okay.
RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I did see that.
Which I kind of think is going to be I mean,
it's timely.
what a time. Yes.
Okay. I was also surprised that neither of the drug movies with Lucas Hedges or Timothy Chalamet, they were all sort of looked
Beautiful
over.
Boy and Ben is Back.
Ben is Back. I also thought that Julia Roberts was going to get nominated for that.
Yeah, she didn't campaign really, and again, that movie didn't really take off.
Now, do you think?
So do you think that?
It's the fashion police.
So you have to campaign.
You think campaigning really is important?
I think for someone like Julia Roberts, yeah, they want to see that she's going to be out there and
and
part
she's going
of
to be wearing the dresses and working the red carpet.
yeah,
and
like the
going
whole
everywhere.
thing is a big self-perpetuating publicity machine, and they want you to be into it.
Right. Now
That's
I
interesting.
saw that
So you have to really audition. Yeah, interesting. That's good.
Crazy Rich Asians didn't get anything.
That is a
Yeah.
snub, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I really liked Crazy Rich Asians. I was surprised. I didn't see it until I was on a plane, and I thought it was really good.
But I was
Right.
going to say again, it's too popular. Like, I think the Academy has a thing against movies that perform really well at the box office. I think you're right. They like them to do well, but not too well.
But because I was thinking that Black Panther might actually have a chance to win Best Picture this year. I thought that would be an upset, and that's something that has made a lot of money, and I think it would send a good message to everybody if it did win, right?
Yeah, well, it would be a breakthrough, not only because it's mostly or all African-American produced and starring, but that it's a comic book movie.
Right, and that has never happened before.
Yeah, but to go back to Crazy Rich Asians, it's a comedy, and that's a big problem with the Oscars. They don't like comedies for some reason.
And I think we prove on the show week after week that being funny is hard. But being dramatic, James, is so easy.
Do you think the other big surprises was Bradley Cooper was not nominated for
That's
Best...
the biggest snub of the year, I think.
F you, Academy.
But he
Bradley
gets so
Cooper.
many nominations for it.
But
right?
that magic of that movie was directed. It was his first directing thing.
Right.
But
Is it
should
going
you
to be?
get
Is
it
it going to be a Ben
Yes.
Affleck situation where he's going to be given the Best Actor because he wasn't given the nomination for Best Director?
Well, I don't know. We'd have to move on to.
Oh, we got to move on. All right. Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6.
Number 6.
Lead actor.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
The nominees are,
That's-
and we go to my voiceover, Christian Bale, Vice. Thank you. Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born. Willem Dafoe, At Eternity's Gate. Okay, I didn't see that one. Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. And Viggo Mortensen, Green Book. And the Oscar goes to...
Rami.
I think Rami. Other people are saying Bradley Cooper. No, sorry, are saying Christian Bale is the other one.
Well, there's so much like press about Christian Bale did this, Christian Bale did that, the method acting,
But
piling on the
have we forgiven him for his that a couple years ago when he started screaming, when he was screaming at everyone? Didn't that sort of...
That made me like him more.
Right, that's his process.
Our friend Lucian turned that into an incredible remix. You can dance to it. It's fantastic.
I didn't love Vice as
No, me
much as
neither.
I was. I thought it was incredibly clever and the way they switched it up, and it was a great performance. Yes, but after I'd heard how brilliant it was so many times, I was like,
You gotta not
See,
listen.
I feel sometimes campaigning backfires, and you sort of
You get tired of it
feel
by
a
the
spirit
time.
of rebellion. It's like. It just because the movie was supposed to really stick it to us, right? And it was a comedy, right? No, it's billed as it's a comedy.
I think
Or the
so,
Golden
yeah.
Globes, it was
Comedy.
a comedy.
I mean, there's a lot of like very broad comedy in it, and deconstruction and self-referential stuff, and running an end credits before the movie's over.
Yes, love that. 20
that.
minutes in, I thought, oh, great.
Mission accomplished.
you go to dinner early.
I just don't know if right now is the time to remake Miami Vice as a movie. Oh, Vice isn't about Miami Vice. I just assumed. Maybe I thought, maybe I didn't.
It was confusing. Someone on Twitter was complaining about Vice, and I thought they meant Vice the magazine. I was like, "Oh, I'm with you."
lot of
They
Vices.
did it. And they were like, "No, the movie." I was like, "Oh, never mind."
I, of course, am rooting for Bradley Cooper. There's a theme to my desires, and A Star Is Born blew me away.
Is this just because Lady Gaga has been on Drag Race? Is that
No,
the only
I was
reason
moved
why you like any of
to
this?
make this hardened. I don't even have arteries anymore. It's just like steel tubes going through my body. And to make
you're like Dick Cheney in that respect.
Yeah, I won't die.
He doesn't have a heart either.
That was the Penguin.
That
was FDR, actually.
Now, Willem Dafoe, have you seen him?
Willem Dafoe was fabulous in Aquaman. I will stand by that.
That's last week's show. Go to the SiriusXM app.
Do we think that Bohemian Rhapsody will be hurt? I mean, by the Bryan Singer fallout? Because up to this point, I think they've done a fantastic job of separating the director from the movie. Like,
yeah,
right?
I see people like trying as hard as they can to make all this stick, and maybe with the story that came out with the new accusers, it will. But I don't know. There's something about. I feel the wind is against Rami Malek's back right now.
Did you see Rami today talking about the Bryan Singer scandal?
Well, I heard that he said he didn't know about it.
Well, and see, anyone who's been in Hollywood knows about it. I don't buy it. I'm a little irritated with him
if you're a super self-absorbed actor. You may have never read anything. You're just like acting class.
Well, what he
my
said
underwear drawer. That's all he knows.
In the quote, he said, "Maybe Freddie prevented me from knowing it." Because he was channeling Freddie. So it's as pretentious a statement as you can make.
Wait a minute, and was it you who mentioned that all of a sudden he has like a Thurston Howell lockjaw thing going on? All of a sudden Rami Malek, out of the blue, started talking like a Newport Deb. He's talking like this. And it's some weird, all of a sudden you get a few awards under your belt, you get an Emmy. And
isn't it the result of having those prosthetic teeth?
Maybe there's some damage to the gums.
There is an actress who all of a sudden, and I won't mention her name when the camera goes, who all of a sudden started talking like Maya Angelou, just out of the blue. She's about 23 years old, and all of a sudden she started talking like she's.
Is it Lindsay Lohan?
No, but there is something that happens to actors when all of a sudden, like the Madonna syndrome.
So you've never had an affected speech, James?
I have always talked like Carol Channing since I was 14 years old.
Okay. Raspberries.
So we think it's Rami Malek, right?
I think so.
That's who is going to be on my poll, whatever.
I would check that out.
Cool.
So we're posting all these nominations on the Wow Report, worldofwonder.net. And next up, at number 5, it's Best Actress.
Number 5.
Who wants to read the nominees? Tom.
I'm going to give it to Tom because...
First one's going to get me going. Nominated for an Oscar in the category of lead actress, although I don't see gender, so this is hard for me. Yalitza Aparicio. How'd I do?
Good.
Yalitza. Roma. Glenn Close, The Wife. Olivia Colman, The Favorite. Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born. And Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I would like I would like Melissa to win. I think that would be interesting.
Her award is being nominated.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, because I think Lady Gaga's award is being nominated as well. I think she's young. She's in her early 30s, and I think she has a lot of time left to make awards.
This is Gaga's award to lose.
It isn't. It is Glenn Close's.
Radiant.
No, because the thing is, Glenn Close has been nominated 8 times, I believe. She's never won, even though some of her performances are some of the greatest in screen history. Dangerous Liaisons, Bunny Burning, what was that one?
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Bunny Boiling.
Bunny Boiling.
Bunny Boiling.
Bunny Boiling, yeah.
That's what they called it in China.
She is also the same age that Lauren Bacall was when she was nominated for The Mirror Cracked. And not The Mirror Cracked. The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Has two faces.
She's also the same age that Lauren Bacall was when she was nominated for the Mirror
The
Has
Barbra
Two Faces.
Streisand movie.
And no, she didn't, but everyone told her that she was going to win, and she didn't win because it went to Juliette Binoche, I think, that year. But unfortunately, she never had another chance. All she ever did after that was an episode of Family Guy. And that's so, I mean, this might very well be Glenn Close's last chance to win. And
She's not that old, is she?
she is. She's fucking 99 years old.
No, she's not. She's 72.
Is she 72?
Yes. Can I do my Lauren Bacall imitation from The Mirror Has Two Faces? I've raised my children. I've buried my husband. I've made my coffee.
Wait, what?
I think I misphrased it. It was the whole thing where she's like, Mother, why don't you do more? It's like, I've buried my husband. I've raised 2 children. I've made my coffee.
Wow.
I'm going to look that up. I think maybe I'm having a little tiny stroke.
But wait, I just don't understand why you're having such a hard time giving it to Glenn Close for a massive
I went to The Wife because you
career.
told me to go to see The Wife, and I appreciate it as a movie. It's a little sleepy. I'm sick of sleepy Academy movies.
You're saying that in order to win an Academy Award, it has to be sis boom ba?
I want movies
James,
again.
I think you're being ageist in the sense that you've got to be over like 700 years
How
old
old
to
was
win.
Betty Davis or Katharine Hepburn when they first won their Oscars?
Gaga is young, but is that a crime?
Why do you have such a hard on against not giving Glenn Close an award?
She can get it if Lady Gaga pulls out. I want Lady Gaga to win. I just do. I think A Star Is Born was kind of a popular movie. I love a big song star, the Barbara Streisand, the Diana Ross, the people that go from music into movies. It's the trajectory, like it's showbiz.
So Diana Ross should have gotten for Mahogany?
You skipped over Snubs, and I didn't. Elijah, you know who won the Oscar in 1973 instead of Diana Ross for Cabaret? Liza Minnelli? No, Judy Garland. They gave it to Judy through Liza. Yes, Liza, if you're listening, it's not yours.
You don't think that Liza deserved for Cabaret?
No.
Why not?
Lady sings the blues, Diana Ross. I just have things I like.
Seth.
Seth's here. Everybody, Seth's here from the Hollywood Reporter,
please
who actually knows what he's talking about, and we're talking over him.
All right, it's definitely a two-woman race. Glenn Close
and Olivia Colman.
Yes. Glenn Close is the sentimental favorite. Unfortunately, The Wife is not a good movie. I've seen it. She's good in it, and so is the fellow from Miss Saigon. Jonathan Pryce. He's probably my favorite performance in it. But the movie is quite silly. The concept to me was hard to swallow.
That she waited 97 years to have a meltdown while she was like, she'd never processed any of this.
Yeah, I mean, she's, ghostwriting for her husband who gets all the...
Spoiler alert!
But
the fact of the matter is, the best performance of the year is Olivia Colman.
Yes.
It just hands down, it is.
And generally there is a lot of excitement over The Favorite and Olivia Colman's performance in it. And so my anticipation is that Glenn Close will be the favorite, the sentimental favorite. Olivia Colman will steal it from her, and we'll have a repeat of what you just described, a very sad moment for a beloved older actress.
I don't think that Glenn has another performance in her. I don't think that anyone's going to be giving her many roles. I
love the way you are basically, if she doesn't win the Oscar, she's dead.
I do. I do think because the last couple roles that she's had have not gone anywhere.
She played that man. She played that man.
What was it, Albert?
She put weights in her shoes.
Right,
she played a man.
Transgender, yeah.
And she was supposed to win for that, and she didn't. And I don't think that any of her movies are ever going to be big box office. She's not.
All right. Well, if she wins, it'll be well deserved. And
can we make a bet? What should we bet? You're thinking
Olivia Colman.
You're thinking Glenn.
No, I'm
thinking Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Is there some money on this or some?
No, whoever wins buys pizza for the rest.
Whoever wins gets a Wowie award. There.
Oh.
I don't know, honey. I have more Wowie awards sitting at my desk.
I have to wait until the end of the year.
Okay, so we got to take a quick break, and the question now is:
yes.
I mean, we're doing this. This is our special Academy Awards. Who is Oscar? The statuette. Who is it? Who's it based on?
Okay.
Hold that thought. You're listening to Wow Report on Radio Andy, and it's our Oscar special.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
And welcome back. Before the break.
Why are you looking at me like this? Like, shut up, James. Keep your mouth shut.
I adore looking at you. I don't see enough of you.
I don't believe you.
Before the break, the question was, because we're doing our big Academy Awards special, and we've got Seth Abramovitch here from the Hollywood Reporter.
Who knows what he's talking about?
Yes, unlike that.
So try to parse out our voices and just listen to what he's saying. It's true.
The question was, before the break, who is Oscar?
I'm going to, this is an old Hollywood lore has it that it was Betty Davis's husband, Ham, right?
I know a different story.
Her nickname was Oscar. And she goes, it looks like Oscar.
Yes, exactly. There was another story that also...
The Academy Secretary's uncle was named Oscar.
Oh.
Right, yes.
Okay.
That's the one I know.
Right.
Margaret
Herrick.
The guy doing the press release was having a bologna sandwich, and he said, my bologna has a first name.
No, you're all wrong. Well, actually, according to the Academy, there is no model for the statue.
It was just a hot guy with a hot ass.
That's because of residuals. That's because of residuals. They're like, no, this is original, totally original.
But another story goes that it was Emilio El Indio Fernandez, a famous Mexican director and actor who used to live in Hollywood in the 1920s.
So it's his physique?
Apparently, yes. MGM art director Cedric Gibbons designed the statuette, and his wife, Dolores Del Rio, said, you should use Emilio El Indio Fernandez because he has a fantastic physique as your model.
I have heard that story as well, yes.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, though, when they tried to fact-check this story, the librarian there at the Academy Awards was somewhat irritated because apparently they get a lot of this.
Yeah.
And they maintain there is no model. It's abstract.
I hear Dolores Del Rio liked her booze, too, so she made stuff up.
Something I didn't know, not to extend this, but it's a stylized figure of a knight. I had no idea it was a knight. I mean, I knew it was a man standing there with a sword. I don't know. It just never struck me that it was a knight.
I thought he was naked.
I thought he was naked, too.
Well, you know, knight's got to take a bath every now and then, too.
The sword is holding his sword, as it were, you know. 200. And he's standing on a reel of film with 5 spokes, signifying the 5 original branches: actors, directors, producers, technicians, and writers.
It's before digital. It's before digital.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say is, like, what great design, because it never goes out of style.
That's true.
Gorgeous.
Deco.
It does, yeah,
It's deco.
And how about how they ruined the Golden Globe Award? I mean, not that it was that gorgeous before, but now
Is it just a globe?
it looks like a sex toy now that's been spray painted gold.
It's got multiple
It
uses.
does.
Sounds like the Wowie to me.
You know the Wow? Have you seen the Wowie Award, Seth?
No, not yet.
You never won an Wowie Award?
No.
Consider yourself next
If
year's
I win our
champion.
bet,
You're going to win something this year. It's the only. I mean, you're a little young to win it, frankly. You know, James may block you. But
They're
the thing
all
is,
legacy
it's
awards.
the only award you can eat because it's actually a soup can, and we relabel the soup can.
Oh,
So
wow.
we paint it,
You know,
so it's very Warholian.
We all never know when the day job's not going to work out.
And
here
we
in
have
Hollywood.
had past winners say that when they're hungry,
Mariah
they eat it.
Balenciaga, one of the queens who won
Said
it.
she was
I'm outta here.
too broke to
She
buy
was lazy
groceries.
to get groceries, so she just opened up her Wowie Award and ate some beans, which is nice to have in case of earthquake.
Number 4.
So number 4 on our countdown of things that make us go
Oscar.
is this Hollywood Reporter poll.
Yes.
Nobody cares about the Oscars.
Right. The paper magazine, new study shows nobody cares about the Oscars, and this underlies my thing. And
You're saying that, right.
Some of the stats were only 20% of Americans can name last year's Oscar Best Picture winner. Can you name it? Of course you can. Wait a minute. You.
I actually forgot. I had to ask someone.
Yes.
Well, I don't
Who
know.
what
it
won
was.
last year? Best Picture.
Oh,
Benton?
Well, it was last year. The no.
Yes.
It was Shape of
Yes.
Water for those
Shape
because
of
Blake doesn't have a
Water.
microphone. We only have 4 microphones, so we have a guest. Blake.
The Shape of Water. What? It's such a
Yes.
bad. It's like such a not Oscar
Between
movie.
1
Best
to
Picture.
4% of adults thought it was Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, and built 3 billboards. But an impressively apathetic 58% had no idea and didn't even guess.
Huh.
That's me. I'm part of the 58%. Also, 20% of people are under the impression that La La Land won Best Picture in 2017.
I think that's an excusable.
Yeah,
I mean,
when it was actually Moonlight.
what a memorable fuck up that was.
You know, and so I'm
Ultimate-
sorry. I'm a big La La Land fan. I loved that movie. I thought it was fantastic.
But it didn't win.
Wow, you really went out on a limb.
No, because people hate that movie. People despise La La
a little.
Land. You know, the
bad
white man,
the bad dancing and everything.
A white man saved jazz was sort of the whole take on it, the hot take. And but
listen-
I loved Ryan.
listen-
I thought Ryan was gorgeous, and I thought Emma was fabulous in it.
Number 3.
The World of Wonder needs to produce the Oscars. I think they're badly produced. I think they need to have no host. They need to cut the.
They've got that dream this year.
They need to cut the red carpet because judging women on what they're wearing is a little weird. But they still need to have fashion.
Wait, who are you?
I am pitching a show to the Academy that listens to this show. All of them, they get together. The
Dawn
Academy.
You
Hudson.
don't like the red carpet?
Wait, I want to hear where you're going
It's
with
old
this.
fashioned.
Yeah.
I think you have to reinvent it. Keep it for the show.
You know what? They should make it a runway.
A little
everyone-
bit.
Yes.
And I think we should have, instead of a host, you keep the presenters a surprise, and it's 2 people. You reunite big stars.
That is a great idea. The element of surprise.
Yes.
You don't know who you're
Who's
going to
behind
present
doors,
with.
and
and it's a little bit
feuds.
what they do with what they did with Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. It doesn't always be old people, or it's different people from different fields, and the wall goes up, the two people come out, they're in high fashion, and they walk the runway, and everyone applauds, whatever.
I love
and then
it.
they give the award.
And commentators can say,
and maybe do the red
thing.
carpet before the party so we can look later.
It's the Masked Singer effect.
Yes!
I hope. Oh my God!
Also my idea.
Masked presenters. That's great. I have another idea. They should be feuding. So they should come out in giant furry animal costumes, and then they take off their heads, and it reveals that they're actual enemies, and they immediately start fighting.
Sure.
Can I never have a serious
Cardi
segment
B
on this
and-
show? No, Cardi B would be great on the. You have to have real people, and then you have to have real movies. And I know the popular movie thing was a mistake, but there's got to either be more categories, or I still think every year that Bridesmaid should win. Every year, I think Bridesmaid is the best movie ever made in the history of time, and it wasn't even nominated.
I have to say, I don't think people don't care about the Oscars anymore, because actually I think the whole popular movie award fiasco debacle was a brilliant marketing strategy. It got people talking about the Oscars, and similarly the giant mess up of giving the wrong award to the wrong film. And
Right.
these are masterstrokes of PR and marketing.
So you think they purposely?
think I intended
You think
them
they purposely hired Kevin Hart just because they knew there were some tweets that would show up?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that could work too.
You're
I
giving them a lot of credit.
I know.
think it's all
God bless 'em.
conspiracy.
I really do think but I will give you a much better deck presentation to the Academy of why World of Wonder, without RuPaul or Maria Balenciaga, unless they're free, how we can reinvigorate, rethink. Award shows are.
Okay.
I fully back that. I think that's a great idea. You guys should produce the Oscars.
I know why we invited you now.
No, it's true. I cannot think of something more suspenseful than the last episode of I'm Not Kissing Up of the All Stars. It was amazing. I was on the edge of my seat.
Organic
the
promotion. I
drama,
love
the tears, the laughter. It was all there, right in that Rula Palooza or whatever it was called. And you have to bring that to the Oscar stage. I'm telling you, you will.
We could do an amazing job, and we'll charge 3/4 of what everyone else does.
Half. James St. James.
I was ready for you to slap me down for the 3/4. Like, shut up.
Twice as much. James, you've been strangely quiet, but now's your
Well, I
moment.
went zip to him. So I
Number-
think I'm going to hear about this for a long
We're gonna have
time.
a little talk. We're having a meeting.
Human
afterwards.
resources.
We're going to take it up with Beth.
Your last appearance on the Wow Report.
Number 2.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
It's
what
Oscar looks, best and worst.
Oh, Oscar looks. Oh.
Best and worst Oscar looks.
Oh, here we go. Okay, Oscar.
Historically.
Historically speaking, yes. No, and to me, I don't understand where you're coming from. Where you're saying that you.
I think
don't
it
like
used to be important. I think now it diffuses.
No, but my problem, I have such a problem with these divas going on the red carpet saying that they don't want to talk about their fashions anymore.
Oh.
You have a stylist. You go to a design. You go to Dior. You get a $75,000 gown, and then you have the nerve to say you aren't going to give the stylist and the designer credit for
but
doing
is it too
How
dare
you? Nicole
James
Kidman
is hitting the
How
table.
Dare you, all of you, because it is it is the deal you made with the devil to become famous. That when you walk the red carpet, you're going to be wearing this gown, and the least you can do is talk about it. And then you can go on about Me Too or blah blah blah, whatever.
Glenn Close, who are you wearing?
Exactly. So, but anyway, some of my favorite ones over the past years. You think of Cher automatically when you think of that. The big.
When they took chances, continue.
The Cher
Exactly.
show, by the way, I saw it on Broadway. It's amazing.
Is it?
The
We have
costumes.
talked about that. You've talked about that as well. But I also want to say Demi Moore when she wore the spandex biker shorts and the dress.
Yes, when they took chances.
Yes, Kim Basinger. Remember, she made her own gown and it was half a blazer and half a corset. Remember that
Yes,
one?
yes.
She had some free time.
There's one.
Bjork and the Swan.
Bjork and the Swan.
Exactly.
Celine Dion with the backward suit.
The backward suit. Yes,
The
that's
tuxedo,
on there.
yeah.
Yes.
Uma Thurman, remember she came out in the milkmaid outfit, the Christian Lacroix. It was like
No.
You don't remember that? It she looked like a Swiss Miss. She was like this
maybe.
weird.
In La Croix, that's fabulous.
And remember when Gwyneth Paltrow came out?
Yes.
First of all, the pink one, which destroyed her career.
It was ill-fitting.
Ugh, it was horrible.
The Ralph Lauren.
No, it was Calvin Klein. And then the next year she came back and she was wearing the mesh, the black mesh, Alexander McQueen, and her boobs were hanging low, and it just looked.
She had kind of like makeup. Like,
the goth. It was she
Yeah,
was
the
just sort of
goth
doing a
You
goth
guys,
thing.
she invented yoga.
I think they should drag up the Academy Awards and make the men wear the dresses and the women
But I'm
have to like
saying,
cross-dress.
make it a little like category is, and then give them a category and have them walk the runway.
Remember when Sharon Stone wore a Gap shirt?
Yes,
I do.
yes, that was like the beginning of that high-low fashion thing that really.
But that's when people kind of did their own thing,
Yeah.
and now that's part of it. It's a little predictable. You can't talk about women's body. You can't judge them that way. So make it fashion. Make it like the Met Ball, but like in a much more presentational way. And don't piss it all away out in the hot. You know, with Ryan Seacrest. God bless you.
When Gaga showed up as an egg, was that the
That
Academy
was
Award?
MTV Award.
Oh,
or the
yeah.
Grammys.
I think that was for
There
breakfast,
was one of
actually. The
them.
first time I had breakfast with her, she came. As
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I
Oh,
will
no.
be excited to see what Gaga wears. She will keep it fresh. She will keep the awards fresh, or
Right.
the red carpet fresh. I
Glenn
do
Close,
think
who
that
you
Lupita
wearing?
Nyong'o is someone who I love
Oh,
always
yes.
now. And Nicole Kidman, remember when she wore that chartreuse chinois? Remember that it was like a chartreuse Galliano.
What movie or TV show is Nicole Kidman not in?
She did a lot this year. She was in like 5 movies, 4 TV shows.
2 HBO shows.
Yeah.
Are crazy.
Okay, we have to take a
Moving
quick
along.
break. And when we come back, we'll reveal the #1 thing that made us go
Oscar!
this week.
All right. I've missed that for every time. I keep meaning to do it, and then I forget.
We'll have one more chance.
So, listen to Wow Report on Radio and SiriusXM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Okay, welcome back. I'm Fenton. I'm here with Tom and James and our very, very, very special guest, Seth Abramovitch.
Who before this radio show worked for the Hollywood Reporter, but since they heard him on it, they're like, "That's Seth. Seth, what?
We have destroyed yet another career.
Sorry. You always have
It was worth it.
You always have a seat here.
#1.
So we're going to talk about best film.
And the nominees are, Seth, will you do us the honor?
Yes, you should do
course.
it. It'd be great.
Black Panther. Black Klansman.
Thank you for pronouncing the third K.
Bohemian Rhapsody. The Favorite.
Yes.
Green Book. Roma. A Star is Born. Vice.
And the Oscar goes to.
I'm going to play what I think is going to win. And of course, I want Star is Born to win. I think Bohemian Rhapsody could win. And I would love Black Panther to win. I want a Star is Born to win.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a surprise category, and I think it's going to go to Roma.
Which would be
interesting.
Netflix's first
Oscar.
Oscar.
Did you
Just
watch
what they need.
Did you like Roma?
Oh, yeah, I liked it a lot, yeah.
I didn't.
You hated it.
I could not sit. I literally, about 40 minutes into it, that I kept thinking, what? There's nothing has happened yet. She washed a few dishes. Like, okay, good God.
And she didn't clean up the dog poop.
She didn't clean up the dog poop. But it just went on. I mean, gorgeously filmed, beautifully filmed. Alfonso Cuarón.
Did you watch it on TV or
I
on
watched it on
on a
Netflix.
laptop? Yeah,
You're
you see
supposed
it
to
in
watch it on the giant
yeah,
mega screen.
In the cinema, there is something really beautiful about it. It just kind of.
No, it is beautifully filmed, and I'm sure that if I let it go, kept going, I would have enjoyed it. But I was bored.
I have to see movies in the theater because I have no attention span. Unless they're on TV, I just start to pet the cats and
But
stuff.
do you because I also thought that maybe Black Panther might seal it as well. Who do you think is going to be? Who is going to be?
Who I hope wins is Black Klansman.
Yeah.
I think that's like the most now movie, and I think it was like the most. It took a lot of risks, and Spike Lee has never been properly.
Do you think he's going to get Best Director?
I hope he gets something. I mean, he's way overdue.
His first nomination.
First nomination.
For director.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
He was nominated for screenplay for Do the Right Thing back in 1989, which lost. The Best Picture to Driving Miss Daisy. So we have like an opportunity here to right the wrongs of the past. But
Fenton,
people are worried Green Book might win and has a lot of
people
backlash.
hate that.
I've just had a realization. I know one of the producers of one of these movies, Cece Dempsey. She hired me to write to produce a film, sort of Jane Austen set in reality land.
I remember that.
And sort of fired me.
What did she make?
So it never got made.
What's she on?
She's a producer of The Favorite. Does that have a chance?
Well, not anymore. Not since you've
I
released
don't
this
know.
horrible,
She was
horrible
lovely,
offense.
actually, but she got really cross with me, very pissed off. I hope she wins because I liked her very much, but I kind of upset her.
Do you have a picture
somewhat.
with her that you can post and say thank you,
I
my
think
best friend of all
I
time?
should email her right after
Yeah,
this.
just do a lot of that.
Hey, kitty girl.
I do think The Favorite has a chance. I don't think it does because I think that it's going to get I think it's going to get a screenwriting award, and I think it's best adapted screenplay is I think what it is.
Is it a little too dark too? A little bit leftish, sort of weirdish. It's not like The King's Speech.
It's
which-
The Artist. That
Yeah.
one and Rome are the two art house movies on this list.
Did A Star Is Born come out too soon? What happened? I thought it blew everyone away. Did you like A Star Is Born?
I did, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I just think it was a formulaic movie that they elevated, and it's like a classic romantic movie. It's a classic story, good performances.
It was the first one out of all these, except for Black Panther. So, or maybe Black Klansman
So
as
it
well.
blew its load a little early.
A little bit, you know, and everyone was just fumbling all over themselves, kind of the way
Yes.
you are, Tom.
It's the last time I had a feeling.
When did Roma? I thought Roma was the first sort of entry. It seemed to be coming a long time
I don't
perhaps
think
before
Roma
it came.
came out until November,
Oh, okay.
December.
Yeah,
did it?
they released it just more recently on Netflix.
Who do you think of all these movies has run the best campaign?
Good question.
Interesting. I guess Bohemian Rhapsody, or I mean, partially like it's made like $800 million or something insane for
There
a
does feel
musical
some
biopic.
momentum behind it, like you said, around even
And people get this kind of swoony, like, and all the images they release are always like he's in an amazing costume, and I don't know, it has like it just looks good.
And Rami Malek did do probably what the Academy loves when people will just transform themselves completely into a character. I mean, he really did do a good job, and he's a fantastic actor.
He looked good, you know, even with his lockjaw speech. Like there was something about him accepting his Golden Globe in that white tuxedo. I think it was white.
He's very handsome. I've liked him since The War at Home. Do you remember the show on what was it? Was it Fox? I think it was.
Oh, and he won a GLAAD award for that.
Yes, he did. He was a young gay boy. He was the next door neighbor who had a crush on the main kid.
Yeah.
And he was just sort of like. And I remember watching the show. It was a terrible, terrible TV show. And yet I remember thinking there's something about this kid.
Finger on the pulse, James St. James.
And then he was also. Then he went on to star in the Tom Hanks The War thing. What was that?
Saving Private Ryan?
Oh, Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers on HBO. Yeah.
Tom Hanks was
Big? Bosom buddies?
Or The Pacific. Not the, it was the sequel to Band of Brothers.
There
the
you go.
Pacific, yeah.
The Pacific. Yeah.
Well, that's all we got time for, I think. Seth, thank you, Seth Abramovitch.
This
Thank
was
you for
so
joining
fun.
it. Well, what are you going to be doing on Oscar night?
I haven't made my plans yet. I don't know. It's something
So you don't
fabulous.
go to the,
Well,
you know...
my dream, I've only gone once, and it was so fun, was the Elton John Oscar party.
You have been to an Elton John one.
Yeah, and it was all that. Like, you know, you're always like, whatever, you get jaded, but that was a fun party. So I'm kind of trying to get my way back into that party.
I once went to the Vanity Fair party, and that is unbelievable.
Yeah, because
Because
everyone goes.
everyone's there.
I always went to Swifty Lazar's party.
I wish. We should have a Swifty Lazar themed party.
I have some Swifty Lazar
You and some
glasses.
glasses will do it
I
here.
could totally do
There's
that.
a guy who goes to my gym, and I swear to God, he's Swifty Lazar.
That's
I wanna
hot.
ask
The
him.
ghost of Swifty is still
It's
alive.
wandering around.
Haunting the gyms of Hollywood.
Well, if it all doesn't work out and you're desperate, you can come to my party. And there'll just be 4 of us there.
Oh, fun.
You know how to sell it, Fenn.
What kind of party are we talking about?
Or it could be a lot or a little, depending on what kind of party it is.
It's always catered. It's always very nice, and he has a huge
Television.
screen. Yeah.
Big TV. And we do an Oscar pool. And
Oh,
I always
fun.
lose, so...
Well,
And you
I'll
live
check
in
my mailbox.
And you live in Patricia Arquette's old house.
That's right, yes. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, James. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Blake. Hey, RuPaul's Drag Con LA 2019 is that much closer. Yeah, have you ever been? Seth?
No.
You got to come. May
Wait, you haven't been
24th.
to Drag Con?
No.
Will you come this year as my guest? Will you come?
Yes.
Okay.
May 24th, 25th, 26th. Tickets on sale. RuPaul'sDragCon.com. Okay. Same time, same place next week?
Yep.
Until then, go out and do something that makes the world go...
Wow!